Hello, everybody. Happy Mindset Monday. Welcome to the chat. Hi, Em. Hi, Renuka. Hi, Riz. Welcome. It's manifestation time. We're talking about choosing your reality, selecting your thoughts to manifest the reality that you want to be in, not necessarily the one that you are already in or the one that you feel stuck in. So being able to really control, hello everybody, hi, thank you for joining, really being able to control what it is you say about your reality, what you say about your life, what you allow yourself to believe to be true, and like being a little delulu. I think that conversation, it's time to have the conversation of, can you be delu? Can you be more delu about what's going on around you? Oh, cute. I didn't know that was going to rhyme. Can you be more delulu about what's going on around you? Because this having to kind of subscribe to and believe in the 3D reality, making yourself wrong for wanting what you want, allowing yourself to be taken away with the 3D reality and not holding yourself accountable to the reality you want to be in. Hi, everybody. Happy Mindset Monday. Thank you for joining us. So, hi, Leanne. Hello. Welcome back. So, hi, Siren Jesse. So, basically, the vibe is when you choose the reality, let me back up. When you choose who you want to be, how you want to live, what your life is going to look like. Not wondering how, not wondering if, not worrying about what's going on around you, but actually having the wherewithal, the strength internally. Thank you, Froggy. I appreciate you. To say, I'm going to choose what my reality is. I'm going to choose what I think is possible, what I know is possible for me. I'm going to allow myself to be malleable. I'm going to allow myself to think something different is possible for me. I get a lot of DMs and people are like, how do I believe it's possible for me? Like, this thing says this and this person says this, and can you really do this? And so in my life told me this. And it's like, listen, you can convince yourself of anything, right? There are people that believe in the Loch Ness Monster. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. Like, you used to believe in Santa at some point, maybe. You used to believe that babies came out of your mom's belly button, like I said in my YouTube videos last week. You have the potential to believe in something different, something exciting, something fantastical. Like, do you believe in fairies, mermaids, dragons? I'm not saying anything is right or wrong, aliens, whatever. Or did you believe that some things are this way and then you met someone who like completely opened your eyes and you're like, whoa, life is completely different, like whatever. You have believed stuff in your life that like makes no sense in the grand scheme of things. Froggy said dragons. I'm a dragon. I'm a fucking straight up dragon. I keep seeing all this evidence of it lately. I'm just like, I love gold. I love like thinking about laying on my pile of gold. I'm like, don't touch my fucking gold. And I'm like, I'm not going to bug you unless you come my way. And if you do, and you poke the dragon too much, she's going to come scorch the earth. That's just what she does. So like, let's let the dragon just stay on her pile of gold and I'm like, I'm such a dragon. I aspire to be such a dragon. Anyways, it's funny that we're talking about this because it's just like a thing that's been coming. I keep seeing dragons in my mind and I'm like, oh my God, I so relate to a fucking dragon. Anyways, really looking at how you can believe that this is possible, because knowing that you've believed in some dumb shit, some old shit, and it's like, it doesn't have to be judged of good or bad, or like you were stupid for believing that or whatever. It's like you used to believe in something different than you do now. And that's wonderful. That's incredible. You know what I mean? Hadaz says you don't even necessarily need to believe, right? Just saturate your mind. Absolutely. Right. But the goal is to get yourself there. But And you're right. Saturating your mind, that's like what we do with 360 Method, obviously. 360method.co if you want to learn how to just like soak your mind in the thoughts that you want to think. I love that concept of it, soaking your mind, saturating your mind. Um, I'm seeing a lot of people who are having trouble believing that it's possible for them to do it. Having trouble believing that they're actually in control and doing stuff with their thoughts like enough of the time to make stuff happen, right? Because the consistency is a big issue. Consistency is an issue if you're constantly going up and down in your beliefs. Yes, it's possible. I don't think it is. Yes, it can happen for me. No, there's no way it can. Right. And so like you're offering like a differing signal, like over and over, dithering is the word I'm hearing. Like your signals are like going like, you know what I mean? So there's not like a straight on beacon or magnetic pull for something specific sometimes, right? Um, Zainab says, I feel like I'm in a waiting state, even though I'm affirming and I want to get out of the state. And that's kind of what I'm talking about. It's like you have these moments of like, I'm going to do it. I believe in it. Yes, yes, yes. And then life comes in and it does its thing. And then you're like, but wait a minute, actually, hold on. Because I thought I said I was in this new reality. I thought I said everything was working out. I thought I thought we had this conversation, God. I thought universe, I thought we had it. I thought like I said I wanted XYZ and now you're giving me ABC with the F. That was funny. Uh, and so, sorry. You need to be like really controlling and maintaining the awareness of the fact that you are creating also while you're doing all that like mental gymnastics and like the ping pong and all these things. Hi, babe. How are you? So when it comes to practicing and consistency and like Hadaz was saying, saturating your mind, this is where you're able to kind of like cross over and bridge that gap between like, I don't necessarily believe or it's not happening to like, this is happening, period. And it comes with like that brainwashing of yourself, essentially. You know, okay, so this is like such the example I like to use. It's so, I believe it's relatable, right? Maybe for some people, maybe it's relatable, maybe not. Have you ever had a situation, and I hear a lot of people telling me this in coaching as well. You are maybe, let's say you're dating somebody new and everything's going honky dory, whatever, everything's great. And then you have that moment when you're like let's say that they like someone's picture or they say hi to somebody that's like, you know, maybe threatening for you or whatever. And then you start doing the, what if they're this? Are they cheating? Do they like me? Do they like them better? What if this? What if that? What if this? Blah, blah, blah. And eventually you start to believe that this person has a thing for that person or whatever, right? And I'm not even talking about whether or not you find evidence of it. I'm talking about the fact that you have now convinced yourself of something that you didn't even think to believe 2 weeks before or whatever. We convince ourselves of things all the time. You are so amazingly capable of convincing yourself of a reality that doesn't necessarily exist yet, or they all exist, right? That's the thing, is they all exist. So if you're like ruminating on something, you're basically just calling it up, boop, 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 boop. Hey girl, like what's up? What are you doing? And then just sitting on the phone for hours complaining about it, right? With your reality. And it's just continuing to manifest it. So let me just make sure. Is the sound okay? Does everyone have just the sound? Someone said something about the sound. Just making sure. It's really important that you're using that to your advantage, right? If it's already possible for you to convince yourself of some bullshit, let's convince yourself of something that you actually want to enjoy, you actually want to experience. Convincing yourself of bullshit is like such a waste of your power. I always tell people it's like you're throwing money down the drain and then complaining about your bills. If you were to control the way that you're thinking over and over and over and over and over and over and make that a habit, make that a practice, make that the thing you do versus letting yourself stress out, believe some BS, whatever, you will then begin seeing changes in your reality massively, okay? However, you might start seeing changes that scare you, changes that shake shit up, changes that are like, what the F is this? Like I said earlier, I wanted XYZ, you're giving me ABC, what the F? WTF. Oh my God. There. Okay. There we go. Let's complete the whole thing. There we go. That's the punchline. So, that's right. Okay. So let's paint the scenario. You are manifesting. You're really on top of your mindset. You're saturating your mind. You're soaking your mind with your thoughts. Your reality starts changing because of that. And then the change comes through. And I always say this, there's only two ways it can look when it comes through. It's either going to look the way you expect it to, or it's not. It's either going to look the way you wanted it to, or it's not. There's only two ways. And whether it looks the way you wanted it to, or it doesn't, who cares? It's 50-50. There's only two options. You still must then persist through the belief that everything is working out in regards to that manifestation or in regards to everything in your life or whatever, right? That is the moment where you do the quote unquote pass the test thing. And pass the test, obviously, if that's something you're interested in, roxytalks.com, I have a program called Pass the Test that's literally about that. So your job in those moments is to continue thinking in alignment with the reality where it's working, continuing to believe that it is working out for you, coaching yourself through it, looking at the trigger or the quote unquote negative experience and then analyzing it from a third party or like an outsider's perspective, not from a like wounded perspective, right? The goal is to do something different. Do something different with your thoughts than what you normally do when something negative happens or when like a trigger happens, or like if you were to start manifesting and something that you didn't like happened. How interesting. I'm surprised. I didn't know that it was going to unfold this way. That's interesting. I'm kind of shocked that this is the way that it was going to go down. Obviously, this had to be a part of the manifestation in order for me to get where I'm going. That's kind of like how I really have to handle things like that go on in my life. It's like, wow, that's interesting. I didn't know it was going to go down like that. Wow. You know what I mean? Like, okay. So I can see how this is shifting things in my life. I can see how things are like moving in, out of the way or in the direction of, or clearing out, however you have to look at it. You're using anything that happens in your life, whether it's good or bad, as empowerment and proof that what you want is working. And that's kind of how you make it through those rocky moments. I think a lot of people is that the problem that a lot of people are facing is that when the trigger comes up, when the opportunity comes up to say, I am in my ideal reality, or like something that keeps you on that track versus something that makes you stay where you are, that is where the shift happens. But you have to continuously make that shift over and over. Kayla Pop Tart says, my trigger right now is being so annoyed with my roommate disrespecting the parking rule and ignoring my texts about it. So your moment of power is deciding that it's actually something different. So this is where the rewriting your person comes in. Rewrite your specific person. I can actually pop the little QR code up here for this real fast since we're talking about it. Rewrite. There it is. Okay. Rewrite your specific person. So you would change the story about them. And then when it happens in the real world, right? When something happens, good, bad, and different, you have to maintain the story. So it's your job to no longer, and obviously this is easier said than done. That's why I have a whole training on it. I go super in depth and teach you like all about the nuances of it and what to do. But there's a point when like you cannot let whatever happens rock the boat too much, right? Like you have to be able to like let that happen and still, wow, my roommate is so respectful. I'm so glad that they are adhering to the parking rule and they're so good at communicating, right? That is your opportunity to change them, because right now what's happening is that every time you react to them being the same old person, they stay that way and they cannot change because you are manifesting them. You said, I never considered my roommate being an SP. Yeah, exactly. But everybody's an SP. Everybody's a P. So they can all be an SP, right? So the specific person is whoever the hell you're talking about, right? And even like on the rewrite your specific person training, we had somebody on there that was working on it for their boss. And I don't know if she's here right now, but she changed like her whole work situation. And she still to this day updates me. That class was like I think at least a year ago. And she still updates me and is like, hey, I just want to let you know this is what's going on. Like, my boss loves me. They need me, like all these things. I got this raise, this is blah, blah, blah. And so she's still telling me things that the boss is, like, to this day, it's still like working and unfolding in her favor. So yeah, like, remember that every single person, obviously everyone is you pushed out, every single person in your reality is your creation. They're a reflection of you. They are not, how do I say this? Their actions are not solely their doing. Okay? Because in their reality, they have 100% control. Cool, let them go have it over there. It's none of my goddamn business. I'm not worried about that. Over here in my world, where I have the control, I manifest every version of every person I come in contact with. Okay. So this is why there is a layer of like forgiveness that has to happen for you and every person, because at the end of the day, like, you're just trying to figure it out. We're all like in a dark room bumping around trying to find a light switch. That's fine. That's understandable, right? But also, they are your manifestation, period. And that will never change. So, whatever they are doing has to do with your story about them. And I just heard Forrest Gump in my head. What does he say? Like, stupid is as stupid does. I'm not calling them stupid, but the quote was like, basically, whatever you call them, they will be. If you call someone a narcissist, they will do what narcissists do. And I'm not saying it's your fault, but they cannot not be a narcissist at the very least until you remove that label off of them, right? Like, they can't not be a narcissist while you are calling them that and believing they are and reacting to them that. And so your job is to be very, very conscious about what you talk about, what you say about everything in your life, including the people at all times. Froggy says, how do you know you've passed the test? I mean, you know, you know, right? Like, if you, how do you know if you pass the test? Well, let's go down each road. Let's say you're manifesting, I'm just going to, it's very simple. You're manifesting a person. Let's say you're erasing a third party. Okay. You're manifesting this person and they have a third party. You do erase. And then you're like, I'm going to go for coffee. And you go to coffee and guess who's at coffee? Those two motherfuckers, right? Your job right now is to say, interesting, universe. Check, that worked. Or like, erase. I see nothing. My world's perfect. Or, wow, okay, I see you, universe. And I'm going to still know what's working out for me, right? Like, you must take the quote unquote high road in those moments. After you do that, you passed that test, right? It's like kind of obvious. You're like, okay, I think I did. Yeah. And then, like, let's say, here we go. Now, that was, remember how I talked about earlier where when your manifestation comes through, it has two options. It can either look the way you think it's going to or it doesn't, right? So that's in a case where, like, you don't expect it to look that, like, I just erased you and then now here you're here. I don't think so. So that's one of those options. One of those, how do I say this? That is passing the test when it doesn't look the way you want it to. Now, if we're talking about a manifestation that does look the way you want it to, same scenario. You erase this person out of your SP's life. You go to get coffee, boom, SP's there by themselves. And I just instantly almost got fight or flight. Like, I felt it. I felt the whoop, that rush. Oh God, here we freaking go. Now, do you? Oh my God, it's working. Yeah. And then maintain that because that's passing. Or do you then go, oh my God, I'm so awkward. I didn't do it right. What do they think? And then you go down the road of like, I'm not good enough. That would be not passing a test that came about that looked the way you wanted it to. Does that make sense? So there's like, the test can either be, it looks the way you want or it doesn't. If it doesn't look the way you want, you know, like, you're passing, it would be like, nice try, universe. Failing, it would be like, oh my God, it's not working. Wow, why isn't there's me, right? Okay. Then when you have a test coming through that looks the way you want it to. Passing it is being like, fuck yeah, look at me. Oh my God, they can't keep their eyes up. They just had to come see me at my coffee shop. Like they manifested me or whatever. You keep that story going. Failing that test is, oh my God, what did I do it right? Did I look okay? Oh my God, did I say the right thing? Oh my God, what do I like that thing getting in your head? That would be technically failing that test, right? So very like basic but general. Hadas, thank you. Okay, that worked. That's a good explanation. Cool. So just it's kind of like there's 4 options, right? When a test comes, oh wow, I should add this to the program. When a test comes, there's 4 ways that you can handle. Like there's 4 you know, there's potential for 4 things to happen. I keep seeing a bracket in my head. It either looks the way that you want or it doesn't. And then yes, this is working. Wham, 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 it's not. Okay, pass, fail. It doesn't look, it looks the way, oh my gosh, fuck it. You get it, right? You get it. I don't have to repeat it because now I'm getting my wires crossed. Okay. Anyways, if you just missed it, rewind or come back and watch the beginning of the live stream. And if you want to dive deeper into this subject, pass the test, roxytalks.com. It's available on my website. I don't have a QR code for it. But it is available on my website, and you can also DM me if you want the link. I can just send it to you. Frankie, I'm glad that resonated with you. Dina says no reaction, neutral. Yeah. And like whatever keeps you in your power, right? Whatever keeps you from spiraling down the, oh God, did I do it right route? And sometimes this is where like 360 method comes in, seriously, because and so now that we've painted that scenario where there's like those 4 options, you can see how when a manifestation comes through, it might actually be the way you want it, and then you still fuck it up and don't pass, right? Like it could be a positive quote unquote test and you still don't pass it because it triggers you to start questioning your worth. So Leanne, thank you, Leanne. Leanne linked pass the test in the YouTube chat. So if you're on YouTube, you can grab it right there. If you're on Instagram, you can DM me. It might actually be on my story highlights. Either way, you can DM me. So, oh, it is 555. I've seen so many angel numbers since we've been on this call. Oh, it just means we're aligned. Like when the upper limit kicks in. Yeah, exactly. Upper limit problem. If you haven't read the book, The Big Leap, and this is resonating, that book would be good for you. Jessica Ann. Jessica Ann says, how do you deal with staying patient while waiting for your manifestation? So the easiest answer I can say, so staying patient while you're waiting for your manifestation, to be really honest, like in my the best way to put it is like to find something to distract yourself. Really like, hello, if you're just not joining, welcome. Think about how we're almost like giant kids. And when like, what do you do to distract a kid from anything? I mean, you know what I'm saying? You get my point. You distract them, right? How do you get them? How do you get them to stop asking you a million questions? Or like, how do you get them to like, they want their birthday now? Or like, I want to eat my cake now. And like, well, how about we do presents first? Or we're going to do the pin the tail on the donkey first, right? Like you give yourself something to do. Leanne said coloring books. So my answer, this is why 360 method is, well, I mean, obviously all the reasons why 360 method is amazing, but I'm just going to pop the little QR code in case anybody resonates with it while I'm talking about it. You can scan the QR code in the corner. When you are manifesting like something that's important, in my opinion, like I like to try to work on multiple areas at one time so that all of my focus isn't on something. Like you're not putting all of your eggs in one basket essentially. And really just focusing on how you can distract yourself by other shiny objects. Like if you're waiting on us one specific shiny object, let's bring some more shiny objects in. You know, let's play with something else, or let's let the shiny object be the thing that's on the burner that we're excited that's coming, and then we're focusing on warm, squishy fur rug feeling type things. Does that make sense? Like Shiny object, gold, woo, shiny, shiny, exciting, versus like luxurious, satisfying. Like I'm just thinking like they're showing me like different textures of life is like the best way I can explain it. Like I'm just getting different images of like other ways to fill your own cup while you're waiting for that cup to be filled. And then it's not about like, oh, this thing is not coming. It's just like, it's just one of the things on the list that's on its way to you. It's all okay. Whether they're showing me now like a 12-course dinner, for example. Somebody in a 12 course that sits down for a 12-course dinner isn't like at the salad being like, where's my fucking entree? Like, bro, like where you know where you are, like let's get it together and enjoy as it's coming. Savor this moment because it's not going to be here ever again. You know, like the amuse bouche is just as important as the dessert is, right? So letting yourself and treating yourself like your life that way, like it's savoring it and being like letting it be delicious and exciting and savory and satisfying. Um Also, I want to ask, I'm back to making YouTube videos. So if you have any YouTube videos that you'd like to see, please drop them in the chat and I'll just take some screenshots of them. Like if you want me to make a video about a specific thing, drop it in the chat so that I know. So the conversation is really about how can you train yourself? And that sounds boring, but like, let's be real. It's not hard to change up your habits, your beliefs, your skill set. Like if you ever gotten a new job, you know when you started a new job and the first month you're there, you're just like, I don't know what to do with my hands and you're just very awkward and uncomfortable. After about a month there, you're just like whipping around the place like you own the place, right? There is this like and it's always that kind of time frame. As for humans, it takes us about like 3 weeks to kind of like integrate something. So it doesn't take long to do these things. It doesn't take long for you to learn a new way to think about your reality. It literally takes a few weeks. That's why I have 30 days of alignment because it doesn't take forever to get you on board. But like once you're there, you need to stay consistent with it. And so this is why I'm always talking about 360 method. It's every single day. You're always, 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 always on top of it. And that is your goal. That's the biggest goal is to stay on top of it because all other goals are achieved through the achievement of that goal. Does that make sense? So when you make your mindset number one most important thing, everything in your life then gets to work out. Or best case scenario also, you'll be shown areas of your life that you can improve through improving your thinking. And then boom, 360 method, you already know how to do it. So then you do 360 method on the thing that you just discovered is an issue, right? So like this is a lifelong thing. It's a lifelong journey. Best case scenario, I hope for the rest of my life, I'm still doing 360 every day until I find something better, if I ever do. And if I do, you'll be the first to know about it. And actually, I'm adding module 9 to 360 method. So I'm adding a new module at the end of this round. I think it's May 21st. I'm going to be doing a live 360 module 9 call with everybody that's a 360 method member. And I'm going to teach you the 9th module, which has been like, as I've been doing it for almost 5 years now, long term, and like what the next iteration of it is and how you take it, how you take it into the rest of your life, because it is the rest of your life. And like the thing that I've really figured or really taken on with manifestation is that this is never going to stop. You will never be away from this power. You will never be separate from it. You'll never not be able to manifest your reality. You'll never be able to be free of it, right? So the best thing you can do for yourself is learn how to think in alignment with what you actually want and make that the habit that you do. If you can have a habit of checking your fucking phone every day, scrolling TikTok for 4 hours or whatever, if you can have a habit of checking your SP's fucking thing to see who they liked, if you can have a habit of getting your running shoes on and going for a run every morning, it doesn't have to be a negative thing, but my point is that if you can have a habit of doesn't fucking matter, fill in the blank, taking a shower every day, brushing your teeth, waking up and drinking coffee, if you can do that every day, if you can get up and go to work every day, then you can every day wake up and control your thoughts because you choose to every day. And there's no excuse ever, period, for not doing it except that, well, we haven't done it yet, or we don't know, or we're scared, we haven't tried it, whatever. But once you know, and if you're sitting here, you know, you're here, you understand. you come and you hear me yell at you and you let me like emote and I'm telling you, right? Like you're in control of all of this. Once you start choosing what you do with the thoughts and letting yourself be in control of that, now you start to be in control of everything. And so it doesn't matter what we're talking about. We're talking about your roommate. We're talking about your job. We're talking about someone's talking about karmic relationships. It's whatever the hell you say it is. It's whatever the hell you say it is. And so really learning how to choose what it is you experience by choosing how you respond to what you experience, what you think about your life. Letting yourself think something different and bigger is possible for you on repeat, on repeat, on repeat, on repeat, on repeat, on repeat. That is the process. That becomes its own habit. And to me, there's nothing else that's more important than that. I cannot fathom something that comes before that. I have yet to find something. So, because again, when that goal is met, all goals can be met. So, again, drop your YouTube video suggestions in the chat because I'm going to be making new videos. If you have suggestions, videos that you want to see, drop it in the chat so I know. So, what comes up for you when I say, okay, control your thoughts, control your reality? It's easy. It doesn't take long. It's not hard. To me, this is a very logical conversation. There's only 24 hours in the day. I'm only awake for like 18, let's say. I can only think one thought at a time. I can only say one word at a time. I can only speak one sentence at a time. There is a finite number of thoughts that I can fit into 18 hours. So there's a beginning and an end. There's a midpoint. And if I go one past that midpoint, I am now tipping the scales in the direction of my ideal reality. To me, this is so logical and plainly obvious. So where are you getting tripped up in the belief that you can do this? Where are you getting tripped up in I don't understand? Where are you getting tripped up in but it doesn't work for me? Well, that's there's one. Where are you getting tripped up in staying in control? Where are you getting tripped up in the consistency of it? Because once you make this the thing, this is how I think. This is what I do. This is how I live. This is what I think. This is what I think. This is what I believe. This is what I allow myself to think. This is what I allow myself to believe. Happy Thought says, I was told a while back that I created someone's depression. I don't get how. The person was already taking the medicine and got diagnosed by the doctor before I knew them. Okay. I feel like you've commented this before on my videos, right? So I think that let's just have this conversation. Here's how you manifest other people to do shit that you don't know, that you never knew before, that they were already like this when you met them. I don't understand. How did I manifest your depression when you were depressed when I met you? Here's how, okay? Number 1, you think that depressed people exist, correct? Right? Or at the very least, you have seen sad people, right? There is a seed planted in your subconscious. And like, we're not even getting to like, yes, you said yes. We're not even getting to like, did you grow up around depressed people? Did you see mental illness in your childhood? Because that's even more. Here's why. Well, I'm just saying you believe that those people exist, right? Okay. So yeah, you said yes. Now, because you believe they exist, because society tells you that, okay, you've never in your childhood. Okay, cool. So good. That makes this even easier or clearer. Because you believe it to be possible, it is now in the possibility matrix for you. That's the reason why. Okay. So I'm going to equate it to something else. People often say, well, how did I manifest a car accident? I wasn't asking for a car accident. Like, whatever. Bullshit, right? Meow, meow, meow. That's how it sounds to me. And I'm like, do you think car accidents are possible? Yes. Do you think that, I mean, literally, like, that's all that you need to say. Do you think it's possible to happen? Yeah, I do. Okay, well, then there you go. That's why. It doesn't have, there's nothing beyond it, right? So because somebody came into your life that was depressed or sad, okay? Like, Earth is full of stuff. Earth is so diverse. There are sad people, there are happy people, there are depressed people, there's blah, 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 blah. We label them as these things, right? So what happens is you come in contact with a person and they are at neutral. They're at zero. They're at nothing point. The second you have an interaction with them, you're automatically categorizing them. Oh, they're sad, they're this, they're that, they're blah, 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 or they're telling you stuff or whatever. You're putting them into like boxes and categorizations. You're labeling them. Guess what? That will manifest. So it's like, you're like, well, they were already on medication before I knew them. I bet they were. Continue to tell me how they were. Well, how did I manifest them? They were already depressed when I got here. I bet they were. You keep fucking saying it. You keep fucking saying it. Of course they were. So you know what I mean? It's like, I see this question come up a lot. Why this though? How did I manifest this? I didn't. It's like, do you think it's possible? Do you think that things happen on earth? Do you brace for calamity sometimes? Are you afraid sometimes? Like, if it's possible on earth, it could happen to you. How you react from there depends on whether or not you make it your thing. It's like you snatch it up and you're like, "Ooh, I don't want that." Or, "Ooh, that's intriguing." Or, "Oh, I've never seen one of these before. What's this about?" Whatever, right? You like pick it. And now you're like looking at it from, "Oh, whoa, this is neat. This is pretty." Look at it all from all these like, "Whoa, what's this about? Oh my gosh. Oh, it's gonna be like you're just making it more of that." And so as long as you think they are depressed, period. They're little depressed Davy forever until you start seeing them a different way because you're manifesting them. And like, people are going to like, imagine if every single person came to you as a neutral blob. It'd be very weird. Like, what they're showing me in my head is like a bunch of like plastic dolls with like no faces on them. Creepy, right? So like, in order for the illusion to work, in order for the matrix to be like filled in properly, like, the people need to have personalities and differences and all these things. And like, and then beyond that, I'm not even talking about someone was asking about karmic stuff. To me, like, sometimes I don't know if I get all the way into that because it's like, it's not really my realm of expertise. Um, if you're karmically linked to somebody, okay. Like, well, okay. Like, that doesn't take you out of your responsibility to control the way you talk about the relationship. And that goes with like twin flame type stuff. Well, I'm twin flame and this thing and that thing, and then we can't blah, 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 and it's so hard to, yeah, I bet it is. Keep saying that stuff. That's going to keep manifesting. Like, that's all I can say about it. You know what I'm saying? So, I'm gonna make a video about this, taking away, how do you get over the feeling that you're controlling people and taking away their free will. I've talked about this before in my I think it's Everyone Is You Pushed Out videos that I have here on YouTube, but I will make a new one. We'll just bring it to today's conversation. Like manifesting a relationship with your SP. Yeah, okay, got you. Cool, totally. And actually, Riss, if you want to elaborate even more, feel free, because then I can be more specific in what I talk about. Martina says, I want to pass my exams, but I don't have a lot of time because I procrastinated and I feel guilty about it. I spend time worrying I won't pass instead of studying. I don't know what to do. So, Martina, I'm also going to recommend 360 Method to you because 360method.co, by the way, and then the QR code is in the corner if this resonates. The issue is like, okay, so I'm not going to affirm anything about myself. I'm going to say this. If you're like, okay, the issue with the procrastinating and the worrying obviously is that, and obviously you said it in your question, it's that it's taking up, I like to call it the space time, the space in your head and the time in your day. It's taking up the space time in your mind, which is also like you're manifesting bucks. So like, like when you go to Chuck E. Cheese and then you can get your tickets and then you can go buy shit with it. Think about like your thoughts go into a machine, then you pull out manifesting tickets or something essentially, right? And then you can go exchange them for whatever. Think about it like that. So when you're sitting around worrying, you're buying more shit to worry about with your tickets that you're going to then have to worry about later. And because you're not practiced at not worrying, you're going to worry and you're going to continue to spiral down, right? I mean, I'm not saying you will, but like that's like this is the pattern, right? So this is where 360 method really comes in, because you have to be staying on top of it. And like for me, let me just say, like, I created 360 method to help combat being distracted, being procrastinating and things like that, because right, I'm just gonna say that's all I'm gonna say. So I understand how to make yourself think the thoughts over and over that are going to train you to notice that you're in procrastination. Notice that you're worrying and spending your manifestation bucks in the wrong place, and then go spend them in the right place. That's what 360 method is. It's like you have to notice that you're doing it, and then you have to have the conviction, the strength in the moment to change the thought, change the sentence. And that's why I always say awareness and discipline, right? Because you're watching to make sure that you're not saying the thing, or that you're not believing, you're not worrying, you're not procrastinating. You're looking out for that. You're trained to watch that out for that within yourself. And then you're also trained to actually, boom, it's going to work out for me. I'm good at studying. I love to study. I love cracking this book. The test feels like it was written for me. I pass every test that I take. Like, change the narrative about your test taking, and then like work on moving the energy, and then like cracking the book. Like, it's easy for me to open my books. It's easy for me to study. I love to study. It's so easy for me. I love cracking my books. I'm so good at cracking my books. Like, say that over and 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 over. Like, the more you say it, the more you say it, the more you say it, the more you begin to believe it. And this is where that we were talking earlier about like brainwashing yourself, saturating your mind. When you are filling the space time in your head with the thoughts of, I always pass, I always win, the tests are written for me, I show up, I'm done, it's easy, I love it, I love taking tests. Like, you're filling your mind with that over and over and over. Two things are happening. One, you're manifesting a reality where tests are easy for you. Everything feels like it's written for you. The teacher loves you, whatever, blah, blah, blah. You're manifesting that reality. You're also in the exact same moment simultaneously no longer manifesting a reality where you didn't study, you should feel guilty, it's not going to work out, you're probably going to fail, right? Like, you can't you can swap one for the other, but you can only kind of hold on to one ball at a time. So pick up the ball that you want to bounce. Does that make sense? And then hold it, and then hold it, and then hold it, or bounce it, or whatever, dribble it, whatever. But you like, again, 360 method, 360method.co. This is where you learn to do this over and over and over, and then you train yourself into it, and then it becomes easier. So the first few weeks are a little bit, it's like a boot camp. The first few weeks are going to get a little tough. You're going to build some muscle. You might puke. I'm just kidding. You're going to cry. You might puke. Just joking. But not about the crying part. You're going to cry. But you're going to like crack yourself wide open, and then you're going to be able to fill the space with what you want, instead of just continuing to manifest what you've always had. Also, oh, you know what? Hold on. I'm seeing some specific person questions come through. I'm doing a live specific person Q&A on Wednesday. The tickets are $37 until midnight tonight, PST. I just put the little QR code up in the corner. The tickets are going to go up tomorrow. So at midnight, they're going to go up. And then our Q&A is basically 48 hours from now, but it's happening Wednesday, 3:30 p.m. PST. So what's going to happen is I'm going to answer. It's going to all be specific person questions. Specific person questions. The whole conversation, the whole everything there is going to be about that. I'm really wanted to create like a really fun atmosphere, like a sexy, fun, I can do this, yes, 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 me kind of vibe, because that's the vibe that manifests your person. And I know that from personal experience, because that's exactly what manifested my husband. And the moment I stepped into like me energy, he stepped into Roxy energy. Okay. And like maybe that's the easiest way to say it. The second I stepped into like Yas me energy, my husband stepped into Yas her energy. Like it was immediate. Um Yay, Dolly and Hadass, you're both gonna be there. Awesome. I'm so excited. We always have such a good time. So that's happening Wednesday. Again, if you want to join, the tickets are $37 till midnight tonight, and then they're gonna go up. And then the QR code in the corner of my little video can take you there right now. Otherwise, if you're on Instagram, it's in my story highlights. It's not on my website, but you can DM me on Instagram for the link. And Leanne just dropped the link in the chat as well on YouTube. Tiffany says, your email said you are the celebrity. Can you make a video on affirmation video about being the celebrity rock star of your world? Okay, cool. That sounds fun. I like this one. How did you get rid of the missing him? Okay. Got you. August. Oh my God, I'm so excited. Says at this point, I kind of want to launch or want to teach my own courses about social media fame and stuff. I soft launched my coaching website this weekend. Yay! Oh my God, I feel like a proud mommy right now. You got to DM me soon. Yeah. I'm just gonna take a screenshot of that too. But yes, please DM me and tell me the deets. I feel like so proud of you. I'm so excited, and I'm just so happy to see you blossoming in that way, and like you're flying in a little nest. It's so cool. Oh, I love it. I have goosebumps. I'm so excited. Okay, cool. Yay. So, don't forget to drop any questions that you want to see on a YouTube video in the chat. And I'm taking screenshots as well so that I can like refer back to it as well. Michael, can you type your suggestion in again? I didn't see it. Sorry. So how do I suggest you manifest multiple desires? So it's 360 method. Again, it comes back to that. Because like I'll give you like the rundown. Basically, you're already manifesting multiple things at once. You're manifesting so much. It's like, here's a good analogy. You know how a movie is actually a bunch of still images one after the other, but it's happening so fast that it's imperceivable to the human eye that we can't tell the difference between the frames changing, so it looks like fluid movement. That's what's happening with reality as well. So everything is being kind of sorry, I'm trying to remember why they gave me that analogy now. My train's left the station a little bit. Oh, come on. Back to it. See, this is why like I said, I created 360 because it's easy. It's so easy for me to stay on topic. It's so easy for me to keep my thoughts on track because I'm a 360 method girl. I'm on top of it all day, every day. My thoughts are so aligned. I always remember everything. It always comes back to me no matter what. It's always there. It's always easy to get to. That's 360 method in action, by the way. That was me actually doing it so that I'm not affirming anything else, period. So like and that comes from practice. I just have to do it all the time and make sure that I'm like doing it for every subject. But like literally, actually, I love that they did that because they made me show it instead of trying to explain it. Oh, I like that. Yeah. So you're basically like 360 method, like boiled down, is basically you're kind of taking time to decide what you want in all the areas of your life. And then you're putting the practice into place of 360 to keep your thoughts in check about all the areas, right? So when the subject of love comes up, it's the story that you tell, that you've chosen to tell about love. When the story of money comes up, it's the story you're choosing to tell about money. When the story comes up about XYZ person, when you get triggered, blah, 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 it's always about choosing how you respond versus letting yourself just think. Thinking is the key here, in alignment with what you normally do. Just getting triggered and thinking XYZ, all that crap that you normally say. It's about what you say inside, outside of your mouth, in your head, whatever. When I say, I mean like the words you're thinking and speaking. And everything you do, no matter what you're experiencing, it doesn't matter. It's all about what you say about what you experience. And that is what manifests the next experience for you. And so this is why, like, you have to get a hold of this stuff now. You have to say these things now. Because if you're waiting until the 3D reality changes for you to change your sentence, you're going to be waiting forever. You're going to be waiting forever because the 3D reality can't change until your sentence changes. And I feel like this is a good time to bring up some stuff. I see people all the time and they want so bad for their circumstances to change before they'll change the sentences. And it also feels like some people, they really, really, really want it to be something else than what they're saying with their sentences. Like they wish and they're kicking and screaming like, can I do it any other way? And the answer is no. And if you could, you would have already fucking done it by now. But what you say about your life, regardless of how you feel, regardless of what is actually going on, what you say about it is what manifests your future. And so I said this on my podcast a couple weeks ago. Everything that you are thinking all the time has not happened yet. When you think a thought, I don't care if you're thinking about something you're looking at with your own eyes, something you're feeling in your own body, or an experience you had in your past that you know damn well is Roxy, but it did happen. Great. I'm telling you, the thought you're thinking right now has not manifested yet. So when you sit here and you think about how awful XYZ was and oh my God, I hate that. And yeah, this sucks. Guess what? No, not even yet, baby boo. You haven't experienced that which you talk of yet. You have yet to experience what you just complained about. And that is what's really fucked up to me. And that's why it's like, okay, then let me just get a hold of these thoughts right now. Let me get a hold of these sentences. Because if you don't, you're always creating a future that looks like what you're afraid of, what you're worried about, what you're doubtful of. Why? Why spend your manifesting bucks on more bullshit you don't like? And then the byproduct of all of this is that you actually start to feel good. God forbid. You know what I mean? Like, after a while, you actually like, okay, hold on, I actually enjoy it. This is actually kind of cool. Thanks. I actually enjoy myself. Life is actually kind of great for me. Thank you. Because you're no longer under the influence of those shitty thoughts. So you're not thinking them, you're not feeling the manifestations of them internally, and you're not experiencing the 3D reality when it comes about. Lily, I'm so fucking proud of you because I saw your comment and I didn't want to read it. And I literally thought like, just rephrase that. And then there you go. There you go. I love it. I'm so proud of you. And you just did 360 right on the call. I'm so proud of you. I love it. I love it. I don't even know if we've ever spoken before, but I love that you were just like, you know what? Actually, hold on. Let me say what I want it to be. And all I'm gonna read out. Lily says, I focus easily and everything is always working for me. Of course it is. Of course it is when you think that over and 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 over again. Eventually, the 3D reality is going to catch up to that. Your job is basically just to stay on that path, even though things are going to try to divert you, right? Things are going to try to divert you because that's what life does. It's like, you want some of this, you want a little bit of this, you want a little bit of this, you want a little bit of that. No, thank you, I'm having this. 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 Like when you walk through, when you walk through like a farmer's market and like every stall they're trying to sell you on something, and you're like, no, thank you. No, thank you. You just politely, no, thank you, and move on. Because you really want to spend your dollars on, I don't know, cotton candy or whatever. You know what I'm saying? My point is like, you could spend your money on anything. You can spend your manifesting bucks on anything at any time, all the time. But like wherever you spend your manifesting bucks is that's the souvenir you're taking home, babe. So if you got all your tickets from Chuck E. Cheese and you went up to the counter and you bought yourself like a Tonka truck and you wanted a fucking ballerina princess, guess what? You're going to go home and play with the fucking Tonka truck and you're going to hate every moment of it. But you also paid for that with your little tickets. And then as you're sitting there thinking, I wanted to print this in, I never get what I want. I didn't get enough tickets. I never get enough tickets. I just wanted to, and I can't get that. Guess what you're doing? You're racking up more manifesting bucks and spending them on more Tonka trucks. Like you're just getting more of it over and over and over. Lily says, so constantly redirect what I want. Yes, yes. Now, here's an analogy that's coming through for that. Imagine you're a ship on the ocean, okay? Imagine you're a ship on the ocean and you have a destination and you're saying, how do I get there? My answer is, well, fucking point in that direction and only go that way. If you see yourself veering off course correct. It's like, literally, I have nothing else to tell you. That's it. You're going to get there, right? The only thing that would stop you is if you don't course correct or you stop going, you stop the engine. So, Lily, when you think about it like that, it's like if you were a ship captain and you're like, "Hey, I'm trying to get to I don't know. I don't know geography very well. I'm trying to get to this island on the left here, but I keep heading to the right. What should I do?" And I'm like, "Point that way." And then keep going that way until you're pointing not that way, and then point that way again. And don't stop pointing that way until you get to the place you're trying to get to. Like, it sounds so, like, dumb and dumbly obvious when you think about it like that, right? It's like, obviously, okay, clearly. But it's like there's sirens on the sea and like, "Oh, what's that? A mermaid? Oh my god, something shiny," right? Like, "Oh, what's this over here?" There is this constant opportunity for all of the wonders of earth. Like I said, you can spend your bucks anywhere at any time. You can always you could be on the ship sailing to fucking the Nina and the Pinta and the Santa Maria and then decide, you know what, actually, I don't want to go there anymore. I don't want to discover the Americas. You know what I mean? Like, I want to go to Asia, whatever, where I'm actually, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can just turn the ship at any moment. You can choose to, but if you don't want to turn the ship, then if the ship's turning, fucking redirect it. Every time? Yeah. Yeah, every time. I have to redirect it again if I start drifting off again? Yeah, you do. You don't ever stop redirecting. Right? Like how like dumbly obvious is it when you think about it like that? It's just like and that's sometimes when I get your questions, I'm just like, "Come on. Come on now." Like it's let it be easier. It's easy. It's easy to understand. I get it. It makes sense for me. It works for me. I'm so glad this is resonating. I love it. Loving the affirmation in the chat that this is resonating and landing. And yeah, it can be frustrating, but like, okay, so Maya, I'm gonna challenge. I love that you said that. And it's frustrating, right? So imagine your ship is veering off course. Oh, my ship's veering off course. My ship's veering off course. My ship's God, I hate the fact that my ship's veering off course. Ah, my ship's veering off course. I fucking fuck this ship is veering off course. Instead of, oh, my ship's veering off course. My ship's veering off course. You know what I'm saying? Like it's only frustrating because you aren't like you're not course correcting. It wouldn't be frustrating if you were like, "Oh, we're off center, let's get back on track." That's empowering. That's like you doing it. It's frustrating as fuck to be getting off course with your manifestation because you are driving. And at any point, you can just say, "Oh, wait, actually, no, we're going, let me hold on. Let me just let me move the wheel one fucking degree in this direction so I can go in the point I want to go in the way I want to go." You said you've never done it, so you're overthinking what to affirm. This is where 360 method comes in. So, Miss Maya, it might be a good time for you to join 360 method, 360method.co. This is like really about, and if you've been in 360, feel free to drop a like, let me know like how 360 works for you, or if you can speak to like how you use 360, like how it helps you stay on point. So we can share it in the chat, just so like I'm not just the one who's like yelling about it, but like I know there's tons of 360 people in the chat right now. So if you've done 360 method, if it's worked for you, like can you speak to just real quick about like how you use it and what it helps you do, so that we can just kind of share as a collective, you know, just showing that it's working and it does work for other people and it's not just me. Let me put the little QR code up for 360 also while I'm talking about it. Um, so it's really just like I always say 360 method is awareness and discipline. That's what it comes down to. You have to be paying attention and then you have to be willing to course correct. Um, yeah, calibration, exactly. Yep, meaning to shift, exactly. Changing the frequency by choice. But that obviously it takes awareness and discipline. But it doesn't always listen, you don't always have to be super hyper focused. Like you have to like, oh, you're like zoomed in all the time. In the beginning, yes, because you're building a new habit, so you need to be paying attention. Like, but once you make that muscle memory, it becomes very second nature. And so like that's why you'll see me just automatically launch into 360 while I'm talking on these calls because I just do it all the time anyways. So noticing that I'm about to affirm something. Am I though? Actually, because everything's working in my favor, right? Like, I'm actually not. Skrilla says, "So when it comes to feeling of manifesting, should we only affirm when we are in a good state of being and just take a break and not affirm when we're not in such a good state of being?" I do not agree. No. And I know Neville Goddard says feeling is a secret. He wrote the book in 1944, 80 years ago, okay? With the most love in the world. Sorry, people keep bringing this to me with Neville Goddard. Like, no disrespect to him. Obviously, he's like an OG of my craft, but we have made significant scientific advancements and understanding in the last 80 fucking years. Okay? So did he was he on the cutting edge of his time? Absolutely. Is what he said valid? 100%. Is there room for like new stuff maybe has been developed and learned? I hope so. Otherwise, we're fucking using leeches to get rid of fucking diseases, right? If you don't allow science and things to move forward, you're using leeches to get rid of fucking depression and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on. We have to move these things forward. Froggy says manifestation boomers. Oh my God. I wish you would not have put that in my head. I don't want to have to say that. Don't be a manifestation boomer. And I'm not trying to invalidate Neville. I'm trying to say, like, we know more. Like him today would be amazing, right? But like 80 years ago, and I'm not exaggerating, 1944 was 80 years ago, okay? So, okay, we know that people, no offense, anyone born 80 years ago, we know our beliefs have changed as a society in a lot of different ways. So we're going to leave our mind open to like maybe there's more, right? So that was just a little, that wasn't directed directly at you. It's just people keep bringing this Neville shit to me. And I'm like, listen, I know what he said. I know what he said. But also, we know that consciousness affects matter. What you are conscious of is your truth, what you're aware of. Like consciousness equals awareness. My consciousness, my truth, my awareness is this room around me. This is so real to me that I manifest it, and vice versa. I manifest it because it's real. It's real because I manifest it. I'm so convinced of my reality because that's what humans are designed to do. It's part of the journey and the realm here to be convinced of this thing. You have to be convinced of it in order to manifest it, okay? So, what when you feel certain things, and obviously if you have a strong feeling about it, your thoughts are obviously they're amplified, it's very powerful, but your thoughts are telling a story about the thing, okay? Your thoughts are constantly telling the mechanism that makes reality happen what's going on around it so that the 3D reality can be printed by the 3D printer, whatever that is reality, right? What you feel dictates what you think, right? It can, obviously, unless you are doing 360 method. And you're like, okay, I feel that way, but I still am saying it's this. I'm choosing that it's this. When you separate how you feel from how you think, you are in control. You can feel any way. It does not matter how you feel, XYZ, up and down, yeah, no, no, no. But what you think about it manifests. And that is where the power and control lies. So that is why you don't have to be in a strong feeling state to manifest. Does it amplify it? Sure. Do you feel it stronger and believe it more when you can feel it in your body? Absolutely. But it's not your feelings that create reality. It's your awareness. It's your truth. It's the combination of all of it combined. But human beings process information in language, right? We process with words. That's how we are taught. So the images that we're getting or that we're seeing, even if it is vibrational, we're translating it into words, and we're constantly doing this like ticker tape like narration of what life is. And that is your truth. Your truth is your awareness. It's your what you believe in. It's what manifests over and over. So like when you're looking at how you feel, I feel like shit and this is horrible. Yeah, and it's going to continue because your thoughts are matching it, and that's what you're creating. I feel amazing. I feel it. Oh my God, I feel it in my body. I feel the truth in my body. I love it. I know it's happening for me. Great. That works too. But you don't have to feel it in your body to put the truth in your mind. And that's where I feel like that we've gone past Neville's conversation of can feeling strongly about something and making yourself feel it in your body to believe in it work? Of course, but you can do it without that too, because it's not that necessarily how you feel. It's what you say about how you feel that manifests. Okay. Oh, that made sense. Alien Boy says, you helped me go through this toxic relationship. Go through it. 3 years ago, I just want to say thank you again. Well, I'm so happy for you, and I hope that everything's working out for you. I remember you. So I'm glad to hear that everything's good. Ms. Maya says, I still feel broke, but I'm choosing that money is easy for me and always readily available. Yeah, and so I would say take the beginning off that sentence, because like, who cares? With the most love in the world, who cares how you feel? Because if you tell me how you feel, then I know that's true in your reality. Do you see where there's a paradox here with the feeling thing too? It's like and that's why I always say to you, with the most love in the world, who fucking cares how you feel? Because I love you so much, please stop talking about how it feels. Cause like they're listening. Ixnay on the Ealingsfey. You know what like that's where I'm trying to get with you. It's like, shut up though. They don't know how you feel. Just say the money's there. That's like the vibe of it. It's like, yeah, the money's here. Woohoo! Who cares how you feel? Because your thoughts, you haven't experienced what you're thinking yet. So if you're thinking, well, the money's not here, I'm just going to feel like it is, guess what you're going to manifest? No money, but a false, empty fucking feeling. Do you get my point? Like, you have to change your words. You got to change your words. It's always words. It's always words. It's always words. It's always words. Skrilla says, so you can be sad, but as long as your thoughts are telling you everything is working out, then everything will work out. Yes. And so let's talk about this, because we're not talking about like, isn't that spiritual bypassing and all that bullshit? Well, I'm not saying don't process your feelings. I'm not saying don't feel your feelings. I'm not saying, obviously, I'm saying don't beat yourself up for how you feel. Don't beat yourself up for what's happening around you. Don't ruminate on it and play it over and over in your mind a million times. If you're sad, you're already sad. The more you think about being sad, you're making it last longer. Like, aren't you sad enough? Like, don't you want an end to it? And again, it's like, it's not that I don't want to like diminish what you're going through. Again, it's that I love you so much. Like, stop talking about it with the most love in the world. Like, if you want it to go away, don't you want it to go away? Isn't that why you're here? You have to stop saying it. It starts with the words. And like, I get that you feel that way. And that's why I'm imploring, begging, yelling to you, screaming at you to stop saying you feel that way. I get it. Shut up now so that it can change. Sorry. That makes me laugh because obviously I don't have like negative feelings towards you guys, but like it just like wrestles all this up in me so I can kind of like translate what it's like. And I feel like not that the universe is judging you, but like when you look at it from a like, what are you actually doing with this energy? That's what it is. And of course your reality is not manifesting when that is what you're actually screaming from the mountaintops, you know? Mm. Angie, I love it. Says our bad feelings are human, our bodies are human, our spirits are our higher power. Don't listen to the human part. The human part is not nearly as powerful as you are in essence. Yeah, absolutely. Yes. Yes, Skrilla says, I definitely understand now. Sit with your feelings, but don't stay there. get through it and move on. Yes, exactly. It's like you don't want to push the feelings away or like make them bad or make yourself wrong for feeling them. It's more just like, oh, I feel like this. Okay, well, and again, like for me, I try to take the road of like, okay, so I can see how I manifested this, or I can see how this is a part of this XYZ. I can see how like these dominoes are falling. Like I can see how, I needed to have this conversation. Like I let it be evidence that what I want is working. And like again, that's 360 because it's trained. It's a trained response because I was not always like that. I wasn't born in that way and I didn't just, come out of the womb being able to like have a really bad and triggering moment and be outside of my body. Even if I am reacting upstairs, I'm like, "Puh," and I'm still getting what I want and it's actually making it better. And wow, I'm glad this happened or something, right? That's keeping me on track. It's just practice. I've just been doing it for like 5 years now. So and that's why I always say, like, I hope I do this for the rest of my life. Like the only way I'm not is if I stop meditating, if I stop being on top of it, if I stop making it a priority. But if it's the priority, then it's the priority, you know? So it's time for me to step off. I'm going to give you one more chance. If you have a question about, or if you want to see a YouTube video, drop it in the chat, drop your suggestion in the chat so I can take a screenshot. I'm doing the specific person Q&A on Wednesday. So if you want to, number one, be in a room with all specific person people, everybody there is where you are, has been where you are, is working on it, empathizes, feels you, gets you, understands you, supports you in your manifestation. And there's going to be tons and tons of custom advice given out. Okay. So I think we have at least 30 people. Last time I checked, I think it was like 31. I probably won't get to every single question. I'm going to get to as many as I possibly can. However, just being in the room, and I always set this intention, so I know it'll happen. Just being in the room is going to give you what you need to move forward, okay? So I will be obviously answering as many questions as I can for people in the chat to give that custom specific advice for your specific situation with your specific person. And then there's going to be a replay sent out as well. So these Q&A sessions are extremely powerful. Again, like I said, just being in the room, you're going to get so much information and so much insight. Dolly's like, I can't wait. I need this so badly. Yay, I love it. I'm so excited. It's going to be so good. Can we do an SP that's not romantic? Absolutely, Michelle. And actually, I was talking about it earlier. One of my best success stories from one of our previous Q&As did it for, actually, sorry, no, she was from the Rewrite Your Specific Person. So I'll pop that up here too. But, how can I say this? Rewrite Your Specific Person. She did it for a boss. So I was telling that story earlier. However, the reason I was talking about it is because your specific person can be literally, it's any person that you're talking about. If we're talking about it, then it's that specific person. You know what I mean? Like Larry is a specific person because I'm saying it's Larry. That's what makes him specific, not necessarily that it's romantic. So what we're going to be doing on the Q&A on Wednesday is, again, I'm going to be going through as many questions as possible. It will be all SP. So if you're not manifesting an SP, it's not for you unless you would just want to be in the room and hear the questions and get the manifesting advice, 100%, then it is for you. Otherwise, again, to create a space that is just 100% supportive, everybody in there is going to be on the same mission, same path. We all are, like, it's not my place to judge your manifestation. I'm just going to tell you what I see is in the way. I'm going to tell you what I see is in the way of your manifestation and with your person, what you're quote unquote doing wrong or whatever. Not that's wrong, but it's just like not the right steps, right? Or not the steps that are going to lead you in that direction. And then what are the steps? So, again, that's why, like, no matter like whether or not you actually get to talk to me, everybody's situations are very similar. There's only like 5 different things like people really ask about. Like, it's all kind of like the same once you kind of start seeing the pattern. Demetra, you're manifesting someone new. Absolutely. You can pop in there too. The QR code in the corner of this is for it. And then also it's on the, what are those things called? The story highlights on my Instagram. But just being in the room is going to give you so much insight about what to think and say about SP manifesting that it's like, it's mind-blowing how much you're gonna grow just from being there, whether I'm even able to get to your question, which obviously I'm gonna try to get to as many as possible. But it is really just like a wealth of information, a wealth of insight, and really powerful techniques for using manifestation to your advantage and really just like getting in there and like if you stop doing the hard or the wrong incorrect thing, we'll call it, and switch it for the right thing, then everything shifts. So if you want to be a part of the Q&A for a chance to have my eyes on your exact situation, scan the QR code. We're doing that Wednesday of this week. So the 1st at 3:30 p.m. PST. Piper says, manifesting the romance ramping up. Yes. Sheila says, when is this? It's Wednesday, the 1st. So in 2 days from now. So 2 days from now, specific person Q&A. It's going to be kind of like this. So I'll tell you exactly what the flow of it's going to be like. It'll be like this, except for the beginning is going to be a coaching call, a group coaching call. So in the beginning, we have 6 VIPs. The VIP spots are already gone. They went really fast. So again, like trying to make sure that I have room for everybody. There are 6 VIPs. The beginning half of the call is going to be group coaching. So our VIPs are going to come on and they're going to actually interact with me like on the Zoom call and like, like we'll be talking face to face. Then I will go into the chat with everybody there and you'll be able to drop your question and then I will be reading them as many as I can and going through as many as I can and giving advice on, again, like what's in the way and what you can do for it. So you will have a chance to witness group coaching, unless you're one of the 6 that's a VIP. Obviously, you're getting the coaching on the call. And then the chance to have your question answered. Again, I can't guarantee that I'll get to all of them because we have at least 30 people on right now. But like I said earlier, there's only so many things that people are kind of like dealing with when it boils down to, and I know this from coaching, I'll probably answer the same type of question multiple times. So again, like whether or not like I speak to your exact thing, your thing is going to come up and you're going to get the answers and the information that you need. And I also know that because I set that intention before every call. So they're very powerful, very to the point, and it's a major deep dive into specific person. And specifically, and I'll just say this straight up from a marketing perspective, I've been focusing specifically on like no contact, third party, no commitment, letting go. So that is like what I've been putting into my marketing again. So that means like I'll be attracting people that are, and it's for anybody with any SP situation. However, those things are going to be like the shiny kind of like little diamonds, I guess, if you will, in the marketing. So if you fall into one of those categories, you're going to get your question answered, basically, because I know I'm going to be talking about those 4 things specifically a lot on the call. So if you're in those 4 categories, you got to be there. You're going to want to be there. So that's in the corner. The rewrite you're supposed to, no. That's the wrong thing. I put up the wrong thing. It's this. The live Q. Or did I just, whatever. It doesn't matter. We're here now. Live SP Q&A. It's in the QR code. You can scan that there, or you can find it on my Instagram story highlights. You can DM me on Instagram for it. Yes. And Piper says a good bit of the info we can likely use for general manifestation. Absolutely. Because it's all the same. A person is, I always say, it's just a blob of energy. You're just kind of like giving it all that power. So it doesn't matter what you're manifesting, the concepts and the principles are the same. And that's why, whether we're talking romantic or we're talking person and we're talking money, it's all the same conversation at the end of the day. You can kind of take out the nouns and the adjectives like Mad Libs and just like, you know what I mean? And just kind of fill in the blank, because at the end of the day, it's very all similar, because it's a match game. It's matchy, like we talk about all the time. What you think about is what you experience, period. And so my job is basically to kind of like hold up a mirror and show you what you're saying, what you're thinking, show you this is like what you're doing to keep it in the place. And then obviously what to do to move it, to make the contact come through, drop the third party, whatever it is. Again, if we're talking those specific things, or whatever your situation is, I'm going to give you what you need to do or what you can do to make it happen. And then it's on you to put it into place, to put it into action. Thanks, Tiffany. I love you. Says, if you want real amazing SP advice that touches on the mental, emotional, and psychological aspects of relationships, come to the Q&A for SPs. Thanks, Tiffany. I appreciate you. So, whew, am I planning on doing live streams once a week? Maybe not. I don't know. I don't know. I was thinking about maybe doing an Instagram only live stream, but it would only be like 15 minutes long. But I have been putting out more YouTube videos, Mohammed, so you can check out those if you'd like to. So I need to get off. It's time for my time. I'm going to go record YouTube videos. This is your last call to drop a suggestion in the chat, or you can leave it in the comments after the video is over. If you're just now joining us, please head to my YouTube channel and rewatch this live stream. Homework I'm going to give you is all right. Your homework is, I don't know why I know we did the irrelevant thing where I had you write down irrelevant, but I'm seeing the ridiculous spell in Harry Potter right now, and I heard triggers, and then they were like ridiculous, and that came up. So what the impression I'm getting is this week your homework is, this is going to be an action-based challenge, and it's going to be a challenge. Your homework this week is to react to triggers like it's hilarious. It's the funniest thing ever. Oh my fucking God. Ha 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 ha. And we talked about this a little bit last week. But this is like, hi Ryland. This is an action-based homework where I want you to be actively responding to your triggers. Like if you haven't seen Harry Potter, it's in the fifth movie. Is it the fifth or the third? Wait, hold on. The third movie. Lupin. Yeah, the third movie, right? So you're going to be actively responding to your triggers like the ridiculous spell. If you haven't seen Harry Potter, watch the third one. Otherwise, and like basically the thing is to turn the scary thing, the triggering thing, the not so nice thing, whatever, into something hilarious, funny. Ha ha ha. Nice try. Ha ha, that's hilarious. Make it funny. Make it hilarious. Make it a fucking joke, because it is, okay? And that's how you're going to practice passing the test this week, okay? That's what the test is, passing the test, treating the triggering moments, the shitty moments, the not so fun moments in your life with a fucking ridiculous moment like Harry Potter and laughing about it, making it funny. You don't have to like laugh in someone's face. I'm not saying like do that, but in your head, ridiculous, you're doing that, okay? And like, I don't remember whose one it was, but remember I think it was one of the twins, and it was like a clown, one of those like blow up clowns that kind of like bounce back and forth. That's the thing they keep showing me, even though clowns are kind of scary to some people. But like more so just like such a joke, and it's a sideshow, and it's a circus, and let it be fun. Let it be fun, because it is fun and it is exciting. And in meditation the other day, they told me like, okay, why do humans create amusement parks, right? Because we're bored and we can. And getting close to that like level of thrill and like excitement and death is exciting, right? Why else would we go on a roller coaster? So they were like, now what would you do if you were an all-powerful being and you were riding the roller coaster and you didn't want to get off the roller coaster? Because they were like, what's the worst part about amusement parks? Getting off and going home. What's the worst part of the roller coaster? Getting off and having to go home. What's the worst part of being at the pool? Having to get out. Like, time to get out of the pool. No! Right? So they were like, if you were an all-powerful being and you created an amusement park and you didn't want to get off the ride, what would you do? Make the whole thing the ride. Make there is no getting off. You're on the roller coaster the whole time. It is the ride. You never have to get off this roller coaster. You never have, like, it's, and so turning the parts that feel scary, fear is the same emotion as excitement. It just has a negative connotation. So turning all these not so good experiences into yas, yas, yasness, laugh at it, have fun at it, make it the joke that it is, and like take back a fucking chunk of your power every time you do. It's gonna dismantle the shit that is like built up in your head that manifests bullshit in your life. And it's also going to get you back into like a powerful space for manifesting way quicker than if you had let yourself spiral on it. So it's like, let's say that you get into a fight or something with your partner, and normally like you guys would be fighting for an hour and then you'd be pouting all night and you wouldn't talk maybe the next morning, and then coffee's kind of awkward, and you know what I mean? And like you waste like 12 hours of your relationship, of your life, versus something happens, we get triggered, in your head, you're like, ha, ha, nice try, ah, whatever, however you have to do it. You bypass the moment where you would have taken yourself down the road for the next 12 hours. And now you bought your night back. You're not in a drawn out fight. You're not triggered. You have all that time, that experience to experience your partner and to manifest something better. So it like really allows you to compound time as well with your manifestations, because a lot of the big reason why things aren't here yet is because you spend so much time talking about how they're not here yet. So we're not going to do that anymore. 360 method, if you want to learn how to do that, control your thoughts, control your world, soak and saturate your mind in the affirmations of the reality you want to manifest, instead of soaking and being saturated in the thoughts of the reality you're currently manifesting. Woof. So I love you all. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for being here. We're all raising our vibrations together. You have the power. I believe in you. I will see you next